Welcome to Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network. Join hosts Dan, Richie, and TD as they break down the latest news and storylines across the NFL, featuring game predictions, breakdowns, heated debates, live Patreon callers, and everything in between. Catch Fourth and Forever every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Fourth and Forever, your daily NFL news show brought to you by the Roundtable Sports Network. Rich, how's life, man? Sick hat, by the way.
Yeah, you're going to get one soon. Don't you worry, Dan, because I'm going to be in your presence a week from today. How does that feel?
It's going to feel good, man. It's going to feel good. We typically
I'm excited,
spend 2 weeks together, around this time of the year. Chat right now. Richie and I have been going through the Senior Bowl roster virtually all morning, trying to figure out what players we would like to interview and that we would like to bring to light as the draft is right around the corner. And damn, but I can't tell you how much I missed you guys yesterday.
Yeah,
and
now
so
we're
I
missing
know that like I hopped on the show, and from what I understand, it now seems like not only is TD the biggest Patriots fan on the face of the planet, he's also the biggest Josh Allen fan, like on the face of the planet. So much has changed in less than 24 hours.
I know. That is it's unbelievable, the discourse around the NFL. There's a lot to get into, and yesterday's episode was huge. I don't know if you realize that because you had a big popping show on the Bills Roundtable, but this episode on Fourth and Forever was popping yesterday as well. So very exciting stuff. We were late today because we're sitting back waiting for TD this whole time, and then Dan and I are just making some magic happen with our business talk and just planning for the future, and then we're realizing, well, TD's not coming, so let's just go live. So here we are, breaking news, Dan. Let's start off with Robert Saleh getting hired by the Tennessee Titans. Would love to get your thoughts of this news. Robert Saleh getting a second opportunity being a head coach after being fired by the New York Jets, going back to San Francisco. He is with Tennessee. He's going to try to build up Cam Ward. Rumors are that Mike McDaniel could be his offensive coordinator, or Bobby Slowick, I think, are the two names I'm hearing. He definitely needs a veteran at OC because when he was with the Jets, he brought in a first-year head OC in LaFleur. Your thoughts, Saleh going to Tennessee, Nashville?
And so I think it's fascinating when it comes into NFL organizations because they always swap from defensive-minded head coach to offensive-minded head coach back to defensive-minded head coach. I genuinely believe that this is a good fit. I think that if you have a quarterback, a young quarterback that at least has shown promise, then I think the fit is bringing in a defensive mastermind. I understand that Saleh had a rough outing in New York, I suppose, depending on what Jets fan you ask, but you can't take it away from the guy. He is really able to get the most out of just about any single defensive roster. Now you're seeing him inherit a Justin Simmons, Simmons right on the defensive line, some promising young secondary pieces. I think this is going to be good for Tennessee. I'm not sure how he's going to handle him being in the same division as Liam Cohn, because I do
That's
understand
great, dude.
Yeah. And that both of them are definitely beefing pretty hard right now, but I really like it. And I'm curious to see what they do this offseason as far as building around this young QB. I hope, for Cam Ward's sake, that they put a serious trend and effort into building that offensive line, though. He was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL by a landslide.
Yeah, it's an interesting pairing. I definitely am excited to see what Robert Saleh is capable of doing. The New York Jets are going to Nashville this upcoming season to take on the Titans. You already know that's going to be the week one matchup. But, the big thing for Robert's very simple. You got to build an offensive coaching staff, and you got to build up Cam Ward. If you're not able to do that, it does not matter how great your defense is going to be. Look at the Houston Texans right now. DeMeco Ryans is literally having that exact problem, building a championship defense. Thought he got the franchise quarterback in CJ Stroud, but he just is the reason they are losing games right now, CJ Stroud. And that cannot happen to Cam Ward. And I think Saleh should look at Houston as a blueprint to follow on one end. That's how you build a defense as a head coach, but then the offense. And you can argue that he did that with the Jets.
He did.
Robert Saleh built up a championship caliber defense with the New York Jets, and he was unable to get a quarterback. Zach Wilson was a failure. They should have kept Sam, which, by the way, Saleh wanted. Did you know that? When Robert Saleh was hired, it was the offseason that Sam was still on the roster and the Jets had the second overall pick. They had an option of drafting a quarterback at 2 or keeping Sam Darnold because they had him. But they decided to trade him. And apparently Robert Saleh was in favor of keeping Sam and not drafting a quarterback. But Joe Douglas was the one that wanted to draft his own quarterback and trade away Sam.
Well, I mean, now it's time for him to rewrite history and show the world that the Jets made a massive mistake. I think that he did it. And so I think that he deserved it, especially since he was one of the first head coaches picked up. But, I mean, let's see. I am very excited to see what this Saleh era looks like in Nashville.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Will he be able to figure it out? Because the Tennessee Titans are a very incompetent organization ever since they let go of Mike Vrabel. And that really is another thing about Titans fans. You let go of Mike Vrabel, now look at him. I mean, why would they fire that guy in the first place? Very, very alarming stuff. OG Jake 99, $10 super chat. My man, cannot thank you enough for the super chat. The revisionist history when it comes to Saleh is insane. If he had a spine, he'd be in New York today with his OG QB1 and OC that play coach in conference ship weekend. Listen, there's a lot of things that Robert Saleh is at fault, and I don't want to go into the reasons why the one thing I will say about Saleh that I think will work in his favor, he cared too much, Dan, about the narrative. He got caught up in how the Jets were being talked about in the media, how he was being talked about. I'll never work in New York. Now, in Tennessee, you'll be a little quieter. You know, you can suck in Tennessee and no one really give a crap. But if you suck with the Jets in New York, everybody's talking about it. I mean, Dan, how many times you hear the Jets come up in the national light? Even though
all the time. I mean, you would think that you are perennial Super Bowl contenders.
Would you, from your perspective, are the Jets talked about the most out of all the bad teams, like all the time?
It's between them and the Giants, I would say.
Yeah, New York. That's why. It's the New York market. It's just a different animal. So I think him not being in the New York market is going to benefit Robert because he had a soft mindset with that. And I even found out a scoop that I can reveal. He went up to one of the Jets reporters immediately when he got hired and was like, "Go easy on me," like trying to be buddy with him and like ask him like, "Hey." I'm not going to say who the reporter is because he's still out there, but he literally went up to him and asked, "Hey, go easy on me," and trying to be nice and buddy up with him. Like, I just find that funny.
Absolutely, man.
Imagine your head coach going up to a media member like, "Go easy on me, man."
So you're bringing up his temperament, and now I have a lot of questions, right? Because it's very clear that just wasn't an isolated event that happened in New York. I think that exchange between him and Liam Cohen earlier this season, he's a bit of a hothead, man. He's somebody that I think hasn't shown to be strong-willed or like, as the kids would say, easily rage baited. So I'm kind of curious. I'm sort of curious to see if he grows in that area at all. I'm sure some NFL organizations appreciate the intensity, but I don't know, man. Big Saleh, dude, going into the AFC South. A pretty slept on, pretty talented division, might I say.
I'm very happy he's going up against Liam Cohen, though, because that rivalries is good for the NFL, and boy, do we need more of them. All right.
Hate your rivals. Hate your rivals. Miss me with that whole thing. Oh, no, you need to be professional. Fuck that. Dude, hate your rivals, ladies and gentlemen.
Hit that like button, folks. Hate on me because I'm a Jets fan. Now, we have some other things to talk about, but before we go deeper into that, we have to bring up Sleeper, proud sponsor of the channel. You guys get a 100% deposit match up to $100 by using code RTS. You should build your parlays, folks. You haven't signed up for Sleeper by now. What you waiting for? Code RTS. Get a $100 deposit match right away. Huge shout out goes to them, making some good money over there on the Sleeper app throughout the divisional weekend. Now it's time for the championship Sunday coming up. But a new head coach was officially announced today, Dan. John Harbaugh is officially a New York Giant. Yep. So many people in New York were panicking that he didn't sign it right away. There's terms that they have to figure out. Everyone's panicking because he didn't sign it. He signed it officially on Saturday, and now he is officially announced today. Do you know what model the New York Giants should look at in the blueprint that worked this year that they should try to replicate this upcoming season now that they hired Harbaugh, Dan?
So are you suggesting that they should fire Joe Schoen and bring in a new GM like the Jacksonville Jaguars?
No, but that is funny. It's a very exact similar situation that the Giants are in right now.
Okay.
That a team that just went through this past season, and that is the New England Patriots.
Okay.
Drake May was drafted as a rookie, showed promise, but did not win anything. Mm-hmm. They go out there and they hire Mike Vrabel. They're in the championship game, bringing the full potential. The New York Giants have Jackson Dart, rookie season, showed promise, but lost a lot of games. And other reasons, injury risk as well. Now you're bringing Harbaugh in year 2. Could the Giants have a similar season to the New England Patriots where all it took was the coach to take the young quarterback, build a culture immediately, and add more pieces in the offseason to get them to as good as the Patriots? Is there a world where that happens?
So I'll tell you what, man. I was saying right before some of these recent head coach firings that the New York Giants, to me, was one of the most attractive landing spots because they already have a very young and talented defense, a very scary front seven. I think that they need to put a little bit of TLC into the secondary. And more importantly, like the Tennessee Titans, I think that they also need to put a massive priority on building that offensive line. So he brought Monken over with him, I believe, as well, right? So Todd Monken is the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants. At least that's what I believe that I read. I'm not sure who he's retaining as a defensive coordinator. But I really think that if they have a quality offseason, and I'm not even saying a perfect offseason, I think that at the very least, this team could be sniffing the playoffs. Harbaugh, in my eyes, yes, he's a Super Bowl champion. And I think that it automatically raises the Giants' floor. Ceiling is a different conversation. I'm sure you can ask Ravens fans why you think that it's hard for him to reach a ceiling, especially since they had Lamar on their team for the past 8 to 9 years. But yeah, dude, like I said, don't even need a perfect offseason, but just need to add some of those very important pieces. Have to start with the offensive line.
Yeah, Andrew Thomas is the guy that has promise, but he has injury concerns. They have a good core
interior guys,
skill guys,
interior stuff, man.
Yeah, they need interior
dude,
help.
Dude, make it up. I mean,
do you think they're going to target Tyler Linderbaum on the open market?
Potentially, man.
Listen, can see that.
Familiarity is a big thing, right? Like most head coaches like bringing in guys that are familiar with the system that they run. So Linderbaum certainly would make some sense. I'm sitting here pulling up some of the positions that would be available as far as free agents in 2026. You have Braden Smith from Indianapolis. He's a right tackle. You have Wyatt Teller from the Cleveland Browns as a guard. His market value is sitting at around $10 million. Say, for example, you don't want Andrew Thomas or you want an answer for him and maybe you want to create some more cap. You could trade him and bring in a Cam Robinson from Cleveland. If New York is smart, they should follow the same offseason model as Chicago did this previous offseason. Give me 3 crazy talented veteran offensive linemen, and then also spend at the very least your first or second round pick on a guy as well, because everything else is clicking for these guys. You have Scatteraboo coming back. You have Malik Neighbors coming back. You have Jackson Dart going into year 2. This team could really position itself for having a New England Patriots style turnaround going into next season. I really believe that.
I agree. I think that it's going to be tough, though. We've seen coaches go out there. I mean, similar to what Harbaugh's doing in LA with the Chargers. They're good, but not great. And what do you think about the division? How do you look at the NFC East? Are they good enough to win the NFC East based off the current status of the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Commanders coming off a tough year?
It's tough. It's tough to say, man. It is really, really tough to say. As far as the Commanders, I mean, right now you have Cliff Kingsbury going out and taking interviews for other offensive coordinator positions, plus head coach positions. So it's pretty clear that he's ready to find another opportunity. They had a lot of injuries over in Washington, so I'm not sure. Was this just a fluke year? Is Jaden Daniels going to get back into what made him so good 2 years ago? As far as Philadelphia, is this new offensive coordinator going to work out for them? History would suggest it will, because they have every other year a quality coordinator tandem, and then they have an ass coordinator tandem. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very difficult. But if Chicago can make it happen, I believe that Harbaugh, as long as Joe Schoen doesn't end up, shooting himself in the foot, I feel like they should be that. But make no mistake, this is something that I have been trying to hammer down within my own fan base for the past couple of hours, or the past 24 hours or whatnot. People are under the false impression that a head coach has no say on roster construction. If you think that Joe Schoen is just going to go out and attack free agency and the draft, and it is only up to him, you are living in a Disney Channel original movie world. All right? Harbaugh is going to be making the vast majority of these roster moves coming into the offseason. It's how it is. This is Harbaugh's team. This is not Schoen's team. So be optimistic.
I agree. So moving right along, Dan, there's a lot of other things around, but surprisingly or not, yesterday, we didn't even touch the NFC divisional games.
We didn't. No.
We got so deep into the Bills stuff and then the Patriots stuff. We didn't even talk about the other games. So let's quickly run through the games over the weekend, starting off with the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Not a competitive game. Starts off, this is why I say the Seattle Seahawks are the most well-rounded team in the NFL. Special teams right away get a touchdown. Defense was phenomenal. And then the run game was dominant, and Sam Darnold had a touchdown pass that he all needed, and that pass was absolutely beautiful. We were like, okay, that's the potential Sam can be. And this was Sam Darnold's first playoff win of his career. Remember, he folded last year. So your thoughts of the Seattle Seahawks going out there and just completely dominating their division rival in the 49ers in that game?
You were looking at the Super Bowl champion this year, my friend.
Yeah,
that is the team. That is the team that I think is going to win the Super Bowl. I really do. I think that they are just a juggernaut. I think that they are a runaway train right now. They are just the perfect, very well coached, and they have personnel to back it up, especially on the defensive side of the football. Like, it was just suffocating from what we saw over in San Francisco. I was anticipating to see that performance from the Houston Texans defense, but what we saw from Seattle should strike fear in not only the LA Rams, but either the Broncos and or the New England Patriots that are set to play this weekend. It's going to be very difficult. And the fact that their quarterback was playing with a torn oblique as well just needs to go off, man. It's a very good team. I think that this is the Seattle Seahawks year this year. And damn. And then here's another sideline story as well. I wonder what San Francisco does with Shanahan. I haven't really been able to check the headlines. I haven't been able to look at what some of the San Francisco beat reporters have been saying, but his name has been floated around quite a bit for potentially being on the hot seat for the past 2 to 3 years. 2 weeks ago, I would have told you that it was nuts, but then we ultimately end up seeing 3 of the longest tenured head coaches in the AFC get the boot. So now I believe everything is on the table. But long story short, Seattle is an absolute dog. Love them.
Yeah, man, I agree. It's an interesting debate here. Now, Sam Darnold's success, Dan, brings up a lot of people with the Jets. Like, I can't believe the Jets gave up on him. But I don't know if this is just me saying it from a Jets fan perspective, but who's more to blame? The Jets or the Vikings, where the Vikings had him in their organization where he brought them to 14 wins, had Justin Jefferson being a dog. They crumbled in the pressure, but they decided to let him walk for financial reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
And also evaluating J.J. McCarthy. I don't know. Who deserves more blame? The Vikings, the Jets, or people say Panthers, 49ers?
Or the Panthers or the 49ers. I forgot that he had a slight little side quest. And
he did have a side quest, which could result in his ability to develop.
Yeah. He did indeed have a couple of side quests in his career that I often forget about. It's still a pretty big question to me why the Vikings wouldn't be able to at least bring him back for a 2-year or even a Kirk Cousins type deal. Maybe not for as much money, but something to where they technically could walk away after 2 years. How Minnesota looked at JJ McCarthy, a guy that never once cracked over 3,000 passing yards in his time in college, somebody that like was running an offensive system that was typically a ground and pound type system, would be your answer. It better well have been a financial decision, because there is no way on earth that they looked at Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy and said, yeah, JJ is going to bring us exactly as far as Sam Darnold did that previous year. Sure, he choked under pressure, and I get it. But I don't want to hear the whole excuse of, we think Sam is good enough not to be good enough. You can have that excuse when your team is consistent playoff contenders. But with how inconsistent Minnesota was post Kirk Cousins, I feel like that they, at the very least, should have put their hat in the ring to see if Sam would have been willing to take a hometown discount and run it back with that system. So I still haven't forgiven Minnesota for doing it. It didn't make sense. And now they're stuck with JJ McCarthy. Unless, of course, that we see Aaron Rodgers roll up there next year. I don't know. It'd be funny.
Interesting stuff. Now, when it comes to the Seahawks, we know who they're taking on. But before we do that, we got to break down this game, because this was just phenomenal football, dude. I mean, holy smokes.
Caleb?
I couldn't believe that Caleb Williams did it again, Dan, just for him to fold. That's sad.
Caleb Williams, man.
So your thoughts of this game? Caleb, what a roller coaster, bro.
Dude, you know what? And so I'm not one for moral victories, at least from my team's perspective. But I have no skin in the game when it comes into the Chicago Bears. I'm just an outside observer. I am a guy that once said I was hopping on the Chicago Bears bandwagon this year. Many people called me crazy when I said that they were going to win the division. You know who you are. But I thought that they had a wonderful season. I thought that Ben Johnson looked solid so far, and then he ultimately ended up taking down his longtime nemesis of the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs, which I would say is a quality year one as a head coach. I think Caleb still has a bit to develop. I think that he didn't have the best of seasons. I think that, and so I do anticipate that he's going to improve even more going into next year, because like you'll see like some throws and some decisions that he makes where you're saying, Caleb, come on, man. Like, what's going on? Like, especially that first drive interception. That was entirely on him for that first drive interception. The one that sealed the game, more so on DJ Moore. I'm pretty convinced that DJ Moore just ran the wrong route on that one. Right, and to be completely honest with you. But
he was just like didn't put any energy into it.
Like, no, he didn't. That's been the story with DJ Moore for years.
Dude, like look over your shoulder, locate the ball. If he ran that route hard and located the ball, he would have easily been able to undercut that before the defender was able to intercept it. Like the free safety saw that, broke on it, and DJ Moore is just like bro, bring on the ball, make a play on it. Help the quarterback in a big moment.
Yeah, his effort has been questionable ever since they walked away from Justin Fields and went with Caleb Williams. So I'm not sure if like he's trying to like find greener pastures, especially since, surprisingly enough, like when you look at all the wide receivers they have on that team, and then a rookie tight end and Colson Loveland is your leading pass catcher. Knowing how wide receivers operate, probably a lot of them are like, okay, get me out of here. All right. Especially since Colson Loveland's my guy going for it. But
he's a dog.
Colson definitely Loveland. An entertaining Bears team. That throw from Caleb, look, was it fun to watch? Absolutely. Did it require any skill? Absolutely not. That was your ideal, like football gods are on your side, throw up a prayer, and it just worked out. It was still very fun to watch.
He tends to have those often, though.
Huh?
He tends to have those often. What about the other fourth down the game prior?
Dude.
I'm saying, I don't know if that's pure luck. I think that's skill. That's Caleb. Not every quarterback. And like, if it was an outlier and that was like the only time he did it, but the week before in the divisional round, 4th and 8, the game's over. He's rolling to his left, makes himself look like the Jordan logo, throws it 50 yards down the field in a spot where it felt like the back was there. He was cornered. It was they lost. There's something magical with Caleb Williams, but his problem is, Dan, like you mentioned, he needs to put together a full 4 quarters of that type of football. He can't just come out in the big moments.
Yeah.
If that happens, I think Caleb Williams is an MVP in this league one day. And I
so
want to say right now, Caleb Williams is going to win MVP in the next 5 years.
I would say 2. In fact, I'd probably end up putting him in the running at the very least. His name is in the conversation next year. And depending, of course, what Chicago does, if Chicago had a damn edge rusher that could potentially get to the quarterback more than often, I think this team is like a perennial Super Bowl contender next year. All they need is an edge rusher. Whether or not that's through free agency or whether or not that like they hit on somebody in the first round of the draft, I think that's really all they need. But and so you bring up something
go ahead.
And so you bring up something interesting as well, because like he needs to put together those full 4 quarters. And people probably hear that and they're like, oh, like that's like a lazy take, blah, blah, blah. But like, here's the deal. While I agree with you that people throw that take around too much, I can't think of a single example where I've seen Caleb Williams play a full 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Right?
He's always having that moment.
I can't think of
but that's why if he does stretch out into a full game, he would be MVP level.
Exactly. Like very oftentimes you hear that about Josh Allen. It's like, oh man, like we just need him to play all 4 quarters. He's done that so many times. I know that he can. Caleb, 0. It's all 4th quarter. I like it. It's exciting. I feel bad about the blood pressure.
Too. It's only the first year in Ben Johnson's system. That's a system that you master over time. When he starts to get comfortable, year 2, he's going to look different. When things start slowing down, he doesn't abandon the pocket and can stay in rhythm within the offense more frequently. Like, I'm buying my stock in the Bears, all of it. But they lost. We didn't even say one thing about the Rams.
They did. Rams got
the win, though.
They do. But look at this. How Stafford has been playing and how this offense has been playing for the past couple of weeks. How confident are we that that's sustainable and that's going to be enough to go into Seattle and come out with a win? I'm not so much convinced.
Yeah.
Seattle is one of the most consistently performing, most efficient teams. Like we're talking about full 4 quarters of play. Seattle has been playing a full 4 quarters of quality
Charbonnet
football.
Injury hurt them, or do you think Kenneth Walker can take on the bell cow role and just?
I think Walker will be fine.
Yeah, Walker's a dog. If he can stay healthy and he can handle a workload, because Zach Charbonnet was a low key good weapon for them. You know, they have that 1-2 punch.
And he was your goal line merchant, dude. Like he was.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Lions
short yardage guy
with like Montgomery and Gibbs.
It definitely was. But like now I'm looking at the Seahawks secondary versus Puka versus Devontae Adams too. Which don't get me wrong, there are going to be wins, and I don't think that Seattle is going to win this game by 20 plus points. But we also have
to bring up Sam Darnold. Like he needs to. If you look at his 2 games against the Rams, not good.
Yeah.
Struggled in one of them and then struggled for the first half in one and then turned it on the second half and then finally put it together. Like he needs to step up because this is not a game where he can just let special teams and defense and the run game support him. Like he cruised through the Niners game. He did have a sick throw for that touchdown on the run. That was a dime to JSN. Like that wasn't just a gimme touchdown throw that he had. But he had a lot of support around him. So this is a big game for Sam, bro, because if Sam Darnold, let me say this, goes out there and somehow matches or outduels the MVP, Matthew Stafford, to go to the Super Bowl, we're going to have to start having a discussion. That's all I'm going to say.
We're going to start needing to have some conversation.
But if he struggles in this one, then we're going to also have another discussion. So either way, there's a discussion. So I'm excited to see what happens in this one, man. This is a big game for Sam Darnold in terms of the narrative around him because Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer already. We know what he is. Even if he loses this game, he's still a future Hall of Famer. If Sam Darnold has his moment to get to the Super Bowl, to potentially take on the Patriots, who, by the way, is the team that made him see ghosts, ultimate revenge story for Sam Darnold. I'm excited.
So you know what, man? Like people often ask, it's like, Dan, like what would piss you off like the most? Like what quarterback would need to win a Super Bowl before Josh Allen to really get you aggravated?
Would it be Sam?
No, not at all. Actually. No, not at all. Actually, Sam, I think would probably piss me off the least. If if Jarrett
If he's on the Jets, it
Stidham,
gets you off.
if Jarrett Stidham did it all, if Jarrett Stidham did it,
What about Drake May?
no, surprisingly enough, no, I'd be all right.
You wouldn't be pissed if Drake May, who just
No.
spawned into the world out of nowhere, just wins a Super Bowl before the job. Wow.
So it's a storied franchise, right? So it's a storied franchise. And this would be nothing new, right? Like, say that it was a quarterback that was on a team that never won one, then maybe, right? But surprisingly, no. Dude, like, I've tried to hate Drake May. I've tried. I can't. And so I like the young man.
That's like Josh Allen.
So I think he's like a super likable guy, right? Like he's a super likable guy. He's talented.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Like I've tried to hate him as much as I possibly can. I just can't. And so at this point, but
we got some super chats. Dan, Mr. Clean is a bad head coach. # smoke Bob.
He's talking about Salah, I can imagine.
I feel like Bob looks like Salah.
Yeah, Bob looks like Salah
because his hair is like the same color as his skin.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold just took the Odyssey route. Yeah, there were some Cyclops and witches and dragons along the way, but he preserved Matt Damon. LOL. I cannot wait for this freaking movie. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of which, you watched that one on Netflix with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck this past weekend? It's called Rip.
No.
It's called The Rip. Dude, good shit.
New one?
Good movie. Oh, yeah. It's really good.
What
It's
is
on Netflix.
The Rip?
The Rip. R.I.P.
I love Matt Damon.
It's good shit. It's a good movie.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I saw the, you know what the Odyssey is?
Yes. Of course.
What's coming? When I went to see Avatar in IMAX, I saw the 6-minute prelude of the Odyssey. So it was like 6 minutes of the movie. It was insane, dude. I was sitting there like jaw on the floor, like seeing Matt Damon and what that Odyssey film looks like for the first time. It wasn't like a trailer. It was like you're just all of a sudden in a complete battle scene. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be great. Let's go.
It's going to be solid. It's going to be solid.
It's the movie of the year coming up.
A solid year of movies are coming out.
This is a great year of movies, not to go on a rant, but there's so many great movies. Spielberg's coming out with a movie. Disclosure Day, Dune 3. Are you kidding me? Ben Johnson is the type of coach I want in Philly. Someone who was good at play design, call his own plays instead of Hurts. Annual OC carousel. I wonder who Philly's going to bring in at OC. Yeah, Ben Johnson is a very great coach, obviously. And having an offensive mind like him goes to show you. But obviously, you don't just need an offensive-minded guy. You can have other guys. Look at the Seahawks. And that's something I want to ask you, Dan, real quick. Like the offensive coach mindset. Everyone's like, you got to get an offensive-minded coach. Look at the coaches right now that's left. You have, it's balanced. McVay offense versus McDonald defense. And then you have Vrabel defense versus Sean Payton as an offense. So you can win both ways.
Well, so from my perspective, right? And so I think like you need an offensive-minded head coach when your quarterback is young. And then I think you need a defensive-minded
the Titans make a mistake?
No. Well, so we ultimately ended up seeing how it worked out when Brian Callahan had the realm, right? And like he lasted half of a season. Obviously wasn't working out too well. But like it's never a bad thing to have a defensive-minded head coach because like look at all of the teams that are in the finals right now, maybe with the exception of the LA Rams. All of them have elite defenses right now. All of them do. Like scary-ass defenses. You have Mike McDonald, defensive-minded.
And the Rams defense is good.
Rams defense is great.
It's like
very, very good defense. Most of the playoff teams this year, their
secondary is filthy, the Rams, honestly.
Yeah.
That kid Durant.
This playoffs has been more so of like a defensive showcase than an offensive showcase for the most part.
I agree.
And and so a lot of Bills fans want like Clint Kubiak, for example, right? From Seattle. Or like some of them are trying to maybe pin out some other offensive like named head coaches. You know who I want? And for the Buffalo Bills? I want Brian Flores.
Brian Flores.
Yep.
TD would hate that.
What I would want is Brian Flores, because I would actually trust him to make sure that the defense is not a liability. He's wildly aggressive. And that would actually be something that Josh Allen could rely on, because people can come out and say, oh, like this offensive-minded head coach. First off, with Josh as a veteran, and all Josh needs is just one dynamic weapon. One more dynamic weapon, and that's it. And I could call offensive plays, and he would still light up the scoreboard. In an ideal world, what I would love, Brian Flores, head coach, hear me out, Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator.
No.
Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator. 2 failed Miami Dolphins head coaches, just because I think it would be funny to sweep them next year with that set.
That would be hilarious.
It would.
That would be a great pairing. Yeah. Joey with a $5. Been riding with you guys all year. Thank you for being an outlet, soundboard, and fun. I want to know what specific change you'd want to see next year. Joey, thank you so much for the super chat. Is this question regarding our network or a team or our teams in terms of the specific change you'd want to see next year? What do you think he's referring to? Like our shows?
I would assume changes. The good thing is that I would like to see solid head coach and a good offseason for the Buffalo Bills. That's what I want.
I want to see Bills Roundtable go to the moon and Jets Roundtable go to the moon. That's what I want to see.
Bills and Jets Roundtable active now, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, for real, we have a goal here to build out individual team roundtables. Jets and Bills Roundtable are the first 2 that are officially operational. All right. We just concluded our first season running those 2 channels, and now we're in the off season with those 2 channels, and we have a lot of plans with that in store, which is very exciting. If you guys know Jake Asman and Matt O'Leary, they are the 2 co-hosts with me on there. And then Dan's got Z-Bot and Kevin and the boys, and a lot of fun things on the Bills Roundtable. So we appreciate you guys checking out those channels. Go check them out. Hit that sub button on them. Brian Flores in Buffalo is the perfect fit, says Anthony. Thanks for the super chat, Anthony. You're my guy. And then Sarah says, keep your grubby hands off my DC, Dan. Sarah's like, no. That's our defensive coordinator over there in Minnesota.
Man, Brian Flores is ours. Nothing you can do about it. No, I'm just kidding. My organization is probably going to be wildly dumb and bring in Brian Dable. So
Brian Dable as the head coach?
I hope not.
Oh my gosh, that would be wild.
But surprisingly enough, and there is like a section of fans that would like for that to happen. I'm like, okay,
unbelievable.
Sure. Yeah.
Why don't you tell them about RotoWire though? Because without RotoWire, Dan Mitchell.
RotoWire not only gifted me a fantasy football championship earlier this season, but it's also helping me with all my player prop parlays each and every single week. It's the #1 player prop research tool on the market today. They gift wrap and hand you the locks for overs and unders on Sleeper exclusively. Please feel free to use that code RTS to get 15% off. They have all the lines for all sports as well. It's hockey, NBA. Once Major League Baseball starts kicking off again, you can find all of that over on the Roto. Thank you, sir.
Roto. And don't you like, do they know about this, baby?
That's a beautiful thing. That's beautiful. Folks, we are giving away, in connection to Covered, a signed Josh Allen jersey, a signed Caleb Williams helmet, and then also a signed JSN jersey. And then they're also running a Super Bowl contest on this application all the way up until February 13th. And let me tell you exactly how you sign up for it. Simply sign up for the Covered app. Link is in description. And then I want you guys to ultimately end up finding the contest that you would like to get into. For Josh Allen right here, or for the Josh Allen jersey, I'm going to go on ahead and pull this up real fast for the Super Bowl contest. You are going to be asked to play a game. It's called Cashy Bird. I'm sure you know exactly what it is. It's where you end up having a bird and you ultimately end up using your finger to avoid the particular obstacle, something you would probably play back when you had a substitute teacher in elementary school. The person with the highest score by February 13th is going to get one of those prizes, depending on what contest that you enter. But using code BALLDON'TLIE is going to give you a free entry for this contest every single day, and you have 15 minutes to get the highest score you possibly can. You can do this for your purchases too. So if you bought a flight somewhere recently, you can play a game to potentially win all of that back. And they're coming out with a credit card that has 100% cash back here, I believe, in a couple of weeks, which is pretty exciting. Covered, great personal finance application, and they're giving away a signed Josh Allen jersey. If anybody signed up for it already, let me know what your score is and if you are leading. I think last time I checked, Here, let me see who's leading the Josh Allen contest already. And so a kid named Camden has a 7,414.5 score. He's on the leaderboard, and he's running away with it. So if you think you could beat Camden and Flappy Bird, and you want that Josh Allen jersey or whatever prize is on there, go off.
And then another super chat, Dan, if y'all hire Joe Brady, will there be a new stadium ceremony? Buffalo going to burn shit down.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, man. I don't want Joe Brady as a head coach because I believe that once you burn a bridge, you must burn it to the ground, right? And I do think that like you need to really start with a whole new regime on the coaching side of things. However, I think Joe Brady is a good offensive coordinator. People think that I'm crazy when I say that, but at the end of the day, yes, he runs a lot of screens, but guess what? He's averaging 6 to 7 yards per clip. He finished 4th in points. He finished 2nd in points the year before, and he's better advanced analytically than Clint Kubiak from the Seattle Seahawks. He scores more points per game. So when people come out and say, oh my God, it's Clint Kubiak, he's the guy, I'm like, yeah, great. I'm fine with that. He's certainly on my list, but people have this false notion thinking that he's so much better than Joe Brady, where in all reality, they are very similar. And he runs a lot of screens too, funny enough. So it's most fan bases just like to find a common enemy, and they don't do a lot of research in it, but they just go off of the first person that says it that has like some sort of following. They're like, oh hell yeah, that's the problem with our team. So yeah. But
well, thank you to Anthony for the consistent super chats, my friend. We appreciate that. Much a love to you.
Yeah,
which is funny. We got someone in the chat that is absolutely just cracking up and talking to me, and I got to respond. My boy Jimmy, Bills Super Bowl window is closed. Richie, the Bills are really not going to win one with Josh Allen. Rich, Superman got a hole in his cape. Jimmy running victory laps around the Buffalo Bills grave. Dan, how does that make you feel, buddy?
Who's his team?
I don't know. Jimmy, are you a Jets fan? Or are you a Dolphins fan? Or are you Ravens? Jimmy, you got to reveal you're the fan of your team, as Dan needs to know so we can get a nice clap back ready to go. Patriots with a super chat. What team is more attractive for a head coaching job, Bills or Ravens? That's a good question. For me, one has a 2-time MVP, one has a 1-time MVP.
I know.
Kidding. That's not the only.
And so the decisions. So I'd lean Buffalo just because I feel like Josh Allen's career, as far as playing at the highest level, is going to be longer than what we see from Lamar. Just because I feel like Lamar just doesn't really have the stature that I think that his legs are going to be much of a factor for the next 2. Where with Josh has like 60 pounds on him, like he's built for stuff like that. I think that Josh has a longer career than Lamar does. So I'd probably go Buffalo.
Interesting. All right, so we got our first caller of the day, Mr. Parks. What up, brother?
Parks, what up, man?
What up, fellas?
Hanging out, man. Congratulations on your Super Bowl appearance, my friend.
No, man, we just going, we still got the Denver Broncos to play. We still got them to play. We ain't getting too far ahead of ourselves.
Man, y'all about to roll those fools, man.
We ain't getting too far ahead of ourselves like you, Dan. We're going to get to that too, Dan. Dan mentioned you right. I can't hate Josh Allen. I'm sorry. I'm not one of these Patriots fans finna fake hate. I can't hate the dude. The only reason I would say I would hate him is because he played in my division for the Buffalo Bills. That's it. Other than that, he'll be one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, he'll be one of my he already is one of my most watched quarterbacks. I love watching him play. He just makes stupid plays at stupid times. This is what it is. Bob Mitchell. Yeah, I have a question. And I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you this because we made a bet week 8. Do you remember this bet?
DM me or Venmo. I'll send it over to you.
Okay, because somebody said that you was being sarcastic, and that's why I asked.
We're gonna pull up this clip tomorrow night of we're gonna make sure that we have the exact parameters of the bet.
Yeah,
and we're gonna see Dan Mitchell make the bet live tomorrow night.
The bet was that they was gonna win a Super Bowl. He said 1,000 first, then he switched it to 500.
Yeah. Thankfully, I did the 500. That's what I remembered. and just shoot me
That's
a
why
DM.
I think if you were being sarcastic, we can throw it off. That's why I asked.
Oh, no, man. I pay my debts, Parks.
Okay. Well, don't worry, because matter of fact, Dan Mitchell, I'm gonna do you a favor, man. Yeah. You send it over. I'm gonna send $250 to the channel. Simple as that.
Oh, nice.
Well, thank you, Parks.
Nice.
Parks is the man, brother. Parks.
Yeah, he is. Parks, just send me a DM over on X or Instagram or whatever, and I'll fire that bad boy over to you, brother. I pay my debts over here, baby. And
you
so
do
I'm not
pay your
like
debts.
TD waiting to pay his debt like a year down the road. I do it immediately.
And then he burnt his lips on the
and he burned his lips on the damn. Yeah, I know.
Anthony, another super chat. I know he ain't worried about Denver. There is only one Nick Foles. Did you see Nick Foles' tweet? Oh, it was great.
Yeah, he was trying to hype up Jared Stidham.
Yeah.
He's trying to hype up
man.
Jared
Hey, bro,
Stidham.
you never know. I mean, I'm not going to count out
why I think that. So why I think it's going to be a struggle for the Denver Broncos offense is because already they can't run the football. Maybe J.K. Dobbins comes back, but you're going up against a really good run defense. And then you have Jared Stidham, who hasn't started the game all season long. And the only benefit I could possibly think from Denver is that maybe they have a lack of tape advantage. like they have no idea what Jared's going to be putting out there. I don't know. But while I think that Denver's defense is going to cause the problems, I just don't know if I can trust Denver to put up more than like 20 points with Jared Stidham.
Well, we'll preview that tomorrow night on the AFC East Roundtable. Someone asked me if we have a roundtable tonight. No, it's tomorrow night on the AFC East. But if you're interested, there's other roundtables tonight. Remember, this is not just a AFC East roundtable we got going on. We got all 8. Now, we got some live tonight. They're still alive in the playoffs. Go check out the AFC South roundtable. See the reactions of Texans fans of their loss. You can also hear the reactions of Robert Saleh by the Titans fan base. And then we got the NFC West at 9 p.m. EST, which is a massive, massive show. I mean, how can you miss? Like, NFC West is like the prime show right now. So, guys, go check out the NFC West roundtable on their channel, 9 p.m. EST. And we may even have a guest appearance of the host. There is a chance that TD is filling in for Z-Bot because Z-Bot's feeling under the weather. And we may have TD filling in. So if you guys want to get some TD Fins talk, he may be, who knows, knowing TD, he may be hosting the NFC West Roundtable, which is a 2-hour epic show tonight, prime time. So with that, we're going to wrap things up here. Smash that like button on your way out, folks. We love you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
See y'all soon.